Hi, Jazzy people. My name is Stacie Allen, and welcome to the Jazz Beat Entertainment Channel, shining the spotlight on creative people with uncut interviews. Please don't forget to subscribe and stay informed. So let me just jump right into my interview and bring on my special guest today. His name is Mark T. Johnson, a freelance musician who plays the guitar. Hi, Mark.
Hey, how are
How
you?
are you?
I'm fine.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Okay, so let's just jump right into this interview since you're such a creative person.
Oh,
So
thank
welcome
you.
to my show.
Thank you again. I'm glad to be here. Very
Okay,
glad to be.
yeah, so let's just jump right in. And I will say, I have known you for years,
Yes,
but I have known you for years as a cop.
yes, you
So,
have.
yeah, like, so tell me, how did you make this transition from a cop to a musician?
Well, for a number of years, I was a police officer because that's how I fed my family, kept a roof over our head, and some food on the table. My youngest son, Andre, he's grown now and has his own family. And unfortunately, my wife passed away about 4 years ago. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
found myself with a lot of time on my hands and really nothing to do. And I'd always been a musician since I was a teenager. I started playing when I was like 13. And I just kind of started gravitating back towards it because it's something that I love, and I guess once it's in your blood, you can't get rid of it. So
So
I'm
since you were,
back.
wow, okay, yeah, because I didn't know that until we began talking a lot more, and you said, "Oh, I play the guitar." I'm like, "Great, you be on my show."
A lot of people say that. It's funny. A lot of people say that because they only know the one side of me, and they go, "You play the guitar? Hey, you're pretty good." So I'm like, "Well, thank
Yeah,
you."
and you started as a teenager.
I did. I did. I was in a summer workshop program that you had a little folk guitar and they would teach you folk songs and you could use the guitar as long as the program went on and then you would have to give it back or you could buy it and I just it just took root and I just kept going from there.
So you knew at an early age that you wasn't giving it up. You wanted to play the guitar. You stayed with it.
Exactly, and I just love being in a band and playing music. And there were so many different people that I looked up to, and I wanted to emulate. And so they inspired me to keep going. People like Jimi Hendrix or Wes Montgomery. These are some of the older guys that were famous because I was, a little younger when I
Mhm.
started. And as I got older, then of course everybody loves George
Mhm.
Benson, and he was a big influence. And different groups that came around
Mhm.
that played, and they had hit records, and then just inspired me because I love playing that guitar. I would
Mhm.
just sit in the room for hours with my guitar, playing it just for myself, and I would fall asleep playing the guitar, and my mother would come and take it out of my arms and put it, in the corner, and I'd wake up in the morning and I'd look and there was my guitar. So
Oh,
I've
that
had a
sounds
lot,
cute. Mhm.
yeah, always.
So you mentioned you play with bands. So what are some of the bands that you play with now? You play with quite a few or just one band?
Right now, I'm playing with the group Artistry. I'm in the
Okay.
Artistry band, and it's really nice.
Excellent band, by the way. I love
Thank
Artistry.
you very
Excellent
much.
band. Mm-hmm.
You came out to see us. What was that? A couple
Mm-hmm.
weeks ago at
Yep.
the
Yep.
casino. Yeah.
I come
So
out
we
to
had a.
see.
It was great to see you, and we
Mm-hmm.
did have a good performance that night. I spent many years on the jazz side of guitar because George Benson was a very big influence on me. So I would learn all of the songs like George's songs, Breezin' and
Mm-hmm.
Formation. Then I started learning how to play the standards and things like that on guitar. So when I was over there playing with jazz, I was playing with a guy named Wahad Ansari's father. He was my barber, and his dad Bashir had a
Hmm.
group, and so I started playing with him. And
I know
we
Bashir.
right, we were working pretty good, but then the pandemic came and pretty much wiped out all of the venues. So
Hmm.
I spent maybe about a year or so where I wasn't doing too much of anything. And then I started back playing with a group called Tailor Made, and that's Sandra Green's group.
Okay, yeah.
I was playing with them, and
Hmm. I
we
love that
were,
band also. Sandra
yes,
Green,
yes.
excellent singer. Hmm.
Oh, very, very, very much so. Love you, Sandy. No, she's a great singer. But we went, you know, they were playing, and I was playing with them. And then I got a call from Larry Estes, who was friends with another mutual friend, Arnold Stagger. And Larry told Arnold, he says, well, I'm playing bass with Artistry Band, but we need a guitar player. And I was kind of like around, and people knew of me but didn't know me, kind of, sort
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
like that. And so
They probably all
uh,
knew you as a cop, right?
they did, and some of them knew me as a musician too, because I mean I play with people like Howie Alexander and some of the other musicians around town on different gigs, but I wasn't out there. Mark Strickland, a great jazz guitarist, I've done gigs with him, but they were only, temporary things. I wasn't really out every day or going to the jam sessions and hanging
Hmm.
out. So you kind
Hmm.
of fade in and fade out, and it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind, really.
Hmm.
So Larry called me and said, "Hey, we have an opening for a guitar player with this band I'm playing with called Artistry." And
Hmm.
so they gave me a song list, and I showed up at the gig, and the gig was like an audition. It was a gig and an audition at the same time, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I just
So
kind
if
of
so if you sucked, the band was just screwed that night because you played. Hmm.
right,
But you
and
didn't. You were great.
no, I made the gig, and
Hmm.
the next day, Daryl, he's the leader of the band. He sent me a text with all of their engagements for the rest of the year, and I'm
Hmm.
like, well, guess I made the band pretty much. If he sent me a text, and
Right.
that's how I started playing with Artistry,
Hmm.
and it's been pretty good. Of course, I was trying to play in both bands, Tailor Made with Sandy and Artistry, but Artistry works a lot more. So,
Okay.
I had to kind of leave the other situation to go with
Yeah.
Artistry. But
I think artistry, they've been around a lot longer, right?
right, and
Yeah.
and when you're a freelance musician, though, you can just hope for good working conditions,
Hmm.
decent money, and plenty of work, which
Right.
Artistry had. So off I went,
Okay.
and it's been a great experience since then.
Hmm.
And but I'm still open. I like to freelance because I've done my share of session work around the city of Pittsburgh,
Okay.
playing.
What are some of the venues that you've played at? Like, who's hired you guys?
Um, well, we've played at some really great venues like the Drum Bar, of course. Are you talking
Hmm.
about artistry or just period?
You, you
Oh,
period.
me.
Where have you been? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've been getting around. As a matter of fact, last summer I received a call to go back to Columbus, Ohio,
Hmm.
where I used to live. I was living in Columbus before I came to Pittsburgh. I went back to Columbus, Ohio, and I played for a Nancy Wilson tribute concert in
Okay.
Columbus, Ohio.
Hmm.
And they renamed one of the streets there for Nancy Wilson. And we had several performers and some of the best musicians in the city of Columbus. I was able to work with them, and it was a
Okay.
thrill because these are really, really top-notch musicians. And it's on YouTube. I just don't know the link of how to find it, but it is on YouTube. And
Mm-hmm.
I got a chance to, just play. It was just straight ahead jazz. There was
Mm-hmm.
no special effects needed, just
Mm-hmm.
my guitar and an amplifier and a chord. That was the
Mm-hmm.
special effect. The chord was the special effect. I plugged it in
Mm-hmm.
and,
Mm-hmm.
and we just sat up there and we played. I mean, it's Nancy Wilson. So
Right.
anyone who's familiar with her, I wasn't really doing anything outside of playing
Mm-hmm.
jazz standards. But it was a
Mm-hmm.
great experience for me,
Mm-hmm.
and the money wasn't too bad either.
Okay. Okay.
So I
So
did
how,
that. I did that last summer, and I was playing weddings and things like that.
mm-hmm.
This
Okay.
was all before I got into artistry. So
Mm-hmm.
I was very fortunate that I started picking up work, and it kind of started snowballing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of
People
snowballing.
start seeing your work, want you to play with them.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's funny
Mm-hmm.
now that I'll play gigs and people will say, "Well, who are you and where did you
Mm-hmm.
come from?" I'm like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I've been around here for years. I
Mm-hmm.
just wasn't out there." And they're like,
Well, when you weren't
"Really?"
playing, when you were a cop, like how often did you practice a lot? I mean,
I
did you?
practiced a lot because I had my man cave, and
Okay.
when you're a musician, you always want to try to better yourself
Right.
as a musician. So you study, you get books, you look at videos and the DVDs, and you keep trying to make yourself better as a musician. So
Yeah.
I I would like to consider myself a jazz musician,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes when you say that, then you end up feeling like you put your foot in your mouth because there's always something that you don't know, but that's the nature of music.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
always
you
learning
were
something.
great at the drum bar. You guys, you're like a dance. The band you're with is more like a dance
It is.
music.
It is.
So it was
And
great. So you can play a lot. You can play
it was
more
different
than
for
just
me
jazz.
because, right, it was different for me playing with artistry because I had to go back and pick up those pop sensibilities,
Mm-hmm.
the rock sensibilities, the R&B sensibilities of playing these different songs where before I was playing all of these traditional jazz or jazz standards. And,
Mm-hmm.
they're like worlds away from each other. But, I only play one instrument and I just vowed to myself that I would learn as many genres and or languages because a genre is a music language. To me, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I might not be right, but that's the way I look at it. A genre is a musical language. And so I wanted to learn as many musical languages as I could. And
Mm-hmm.
so I will, if the music sounds good, that's all that matters to
You
me.
play any blues? I love the
I
blues.
play a lot of blues. As a matter of fact,
Okay.
I was in a blues band for 5 years, and we played a lot of hole in the wall band places, dive
Mm-hmm.
bars, and I
That's where
had
you
a
can get some of the best music.
and it was great. I had
Mm-hmm.
a stage name. My stage name was Bebop Billy, which was kind of funny because Bebop Billy and bebop music and jazz music are once again a world apart. But
Mm-hmm.
I decided to call myself Bebop Billy, and I think uh, one of the memories, things I remember the most is we played in a bar that had chicken wire across the stage, like in a Blues Brothers movie. And the reason why they put the chicken wire across the stage is that you get one of those drunk guys out in the audience and you play a song that reminds him of his woman, he's going to throw a beer bottle at the band or at the stage. So they put the chicken wire up there to keep anything from hitting the band. This is
Was
a
that
true
like
story.
something that they always did? Who
At this
started? I mean,
at this particular bar, yes, true
okay.
story. And so we started to get smart and play rawhide all night like the Blues Brothers, but then we figured we wanted to get out of there without a fight, and there were more people than in the audience than in the band, so we made the
Mm-hmm.
rest of the gig and got the heck out of there. Of course, we never went back. We never went
Okay.
back.
One
But
time.
I enjoy playing the blues because BB King is a big influence for me, especially in my early years. So I enjoy playing the blues a lot.
Okay. Okay. So would you say that guitar is the hardest instrument to learn how to play? That's what I heard.
Some people say that, and I think the reason why they say that is because they get to looking at them little bitty
The
strings, and you're trying
strings, yeah. Mhm.
how they
I
doing
told myself if I ever wanted to learn how to play an instrument, it would probably be, it seemed like the piano would be the easiest,
You
but I would
think?
love to play the guitar.
Well, pianists, they have a
That
great
has to be the
because
easiest, right? And the guitar has to be
well,
the
I couldn't
hardest.
say
Or am I
that
wrong?
because I couldn't say that it would be easier to play the piano, but I will say this: pianists have it great because they have two hands and they can play either a chord in their left hand and solo or improvise with their right hand,
Okay.
or they can play two chords with both hands. Whereas on the guitar, I mean, you can play, but then you're getting into the fingerboard tapping and something that's really, really intricate. But you learn how to do things with chords and play melodies and
Hmm.
improvise. But I just love that guitar. I mean, I played. I was in orchestra with cornets, and that lasted about a month. And then I
Okay.
was on the piano, and that lasted about shorter than that. And I was always back to the guitar. So
Oh, okay.
certain instruments just stick with you, and
Hmm.
guitar has always been something that I've loved, the sound of it and playing it. So,
Hmm. Well, tell us something that most people that know you would be surprised to know.
hmm,
Do you have anything in your
something,
closet you like to tell us?
something that most people would be surprised to know. Well, what most people that know me don't know that as a police officer, I made a DUI arrest, and the individual fought the DUI arrest. It went all the way to the state Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, and the
Hmm.
Supreme Court sided with my actions that day, and it is now part of DUI case law in the state of Pennsylvania.
Oh, wonderful. I'm gonna ring the bell on that one.
Well,
It's
thank
not really
you.
a bell,
Thank
it's my,
you.
my jazz
Thank
bean
you.
cup. Really,
Yes.
Mark?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's a true story.
True
And
story. Okay.
yeah, I was I was
Something to be
surprised.
proud of. Yeah.
One of my friends, he sent me a text and he says, maybe I should get your autograph. And I'm like, what do you want my autograph for? And he goes, that DUI case you had, it went to the Supreme Court and they sided with you. And it's here in the magazine. He was reading in one of the magazines, law enforcement magazines.
Okay.
And that's how he knew. I
So
had
you
no
had not
idea.
even known it was in this
I had
magazine.
no idea. I had no idea. I wasn't paying
Mhm.
attention to it. I was just, you go out and you do your job and you don't internalize the job because then you'll burn out.
Okay.
And so I never internalized. I would do my job. And then once I brought it to the judges or the courts, then it was in their hands.
Hmm.
So for me to worry about what happened after that would have, I just didn't want to do it. So
Oh,
that
that's
was a,
wonderful. Yeah. So
mhm.
what's up next for Mark? What, where you
Well,
playing, what you gigging, what you doing? You making music? You plan to make any music? You have
yeah,
made music before.
yes, I
Yeah.
am planning.
Yeah.
I'm planning on just working more because my one of the things that I really am going to do is I'm a songwriter,
Hmm.
and I want to write songs for a music synchronization, which is movie and TV commercials,
Hmm.
movies, and television series. And
Okay.
they have people out there to look for new songs for movies and things like that all the time. So
How about
that is
something small, like for my channel intro?
well, you know
Something
what? We
interesting
can
for my channel. I don't
we
have any
can
intro music or anything. It's just
really
uncut and recorded and
well
sent out there.
look, have your people have your people call my
Okay.
we'll put
Okay.
together. But You know, that sounds like a great project. I would love to do
Uh-huh.
something. I
Okay.
would really love to do something for you that you would like.
Okay.
So we're
All
gonna
right.
put that in there. Like,
I'm gonna keep in touch. I'm gonna keep
yeah,
in touch about that. Well, let's
okay,
do this real quick. I have this little segment. I haven't hosted by myself in a while. So a lot of times I usually have a co-host with me, but I have this little box over here and it's called my random question box. So how about we play that? How about we pick a random question? It may not have anything to do with your music, nothing to be with being a cop, just a
okay,
question.
all right,
You
great.
up for it? No
I'm
matter what
ready.
the question is, you're ready for it.
I'll do
These
my
are just
best.
made up random questions other people gave me or something I might have pulled off the internet. I don't know. But here
Go
goes.
ahead.
I'm
Here
gonna
we
mix
go.
it up.
Okay.
I'm gonna mix it up right here. Mix
Drum
all
roll,
this stuff.
please.
Well, let me give you a bell.
Drum roll. Brrrr.
Okay, here it goes. We'll
Okay.
do one. If here it comes. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is real random. This is, would you rather be locked in a room with 6 tarantulas or 1 python? I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
have
where
to
it came
go.
from. Somebody gave me these questions. It probably, I don't know.
Both prospects are like really scary. You know, you're
Okay,
like,
yeah.
oh my God,
I know
right?
what I would choose.
I don't like spiders or snakes. You be like, yikes, you know. But, I would go with the 6 tarantulas, I think, or was it 6 or was it 3?
6.
It's
So
6.
we're trying to lower it. It's 6 tarantulas. 6. 1 python.
The
Who you
6
going with,
tarantulas.
Mark? Who you gonna be
I
locked in
would
this room
go.
with? Let's say
I'll
the
take
room
a.
is let's do 10 by 10. How about that?
I would
I'm
take a.
giving you a lot of space.
I would take a chance with the 6 tarantulas because I'm figuring I would be able to stomp on all 6 of them because you know that adrenaline would get in there and then I'd be moving at light speed, stomping on them instead of trying to worry about that snake grabbing a hold of my leg or something. Now, ah, ah, ah.
Okay. We'll go with that. Okay, we'll go with that. You're so silly. I think that's what I would go with too, only because I'm afraid of spiders too. But if I had
Oh
to take
man,
my chances, yeah, you're right. You can at least try to
I
stomp
think
on
for me,
the
those
spot. Yeah,
spiders they give
yeah.
me the
Oh,
willies.
me too. No. Okay, let's see. Um, let's see. Should I pick another one for you? No, you have to give me. Can you think of one to put back into the box? How about that? Any random question that I can give one of my guests off the wall. I don't care what it is.
Yes. Personally, what do you see as your biggest betrayal?
Oh, what do you see as your biggest betrayal?
Yes.
Okay,
I,
I like
I
that. I'm going to put that in the box.
have my
And you know
answer
what? I'm
already.
going to put your name on the back so I can remember where it came from.
All right.
All right.
I'm a contributor.
So
Thank you.
so you have to watch the channel.
I
You have to
will.
share the channel.
I will.
We have to get other
I'm
people to subscribe. Yeah. So that's what
I
we'll
am
do.
I'm going to reach out to my friends and tell everybody I can about you because
Okay.
this is a great experience. And as musicians, we always want people to know that we're here. And
Right.
what better way for people to know that we're here
Right.
is to see people in interviews like this. You can get up close and personal with a person because
Mm-hmm.
when you see them from stage, you're not really having that intimate of an interaction with people because you're worried about the gig or songs and you're not
Mm-hmm.
try to go out. You'll talk with people, but you can only do so much at a gig. But
And I
I'm
appreciate you being here. Yeah. So thank you
well,
for that.
I'm
For letting some
very
people know. Yeah.
I'm very happy that you thought of me to invite me. I am very happy. Thank you once again.
Mm-hmm. Before I let you go, tell us like where could we find you next? What's up next? Like, where do we find you?
I am really bad at telling people where the engagements are. That's why they sent me an app with all of the
Okay, and it got to be in front of you. You got to look. Okay.
right. And I will say that we're going to be down in McKeesport this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that we'll be out at the Red Fox Winery on Saturday. And I can't remember whatever locations they are, but I'll post it on my Facebook page.
Okay, I'll
The
check that out.
location.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So once again, thank you for gracing
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
the Jazz Bean channel with your
Yes.
presence. And I will see you soon. Because I'm going to
Yes,
look
you
on your
will.
Facebook page and I'm going to follow you and you're going to see me at your next gig.
That would be fantastic. Thank you. Be great to
Okay.
see you. And thanks for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Mark. And you have a wonderful evening. Enjoy.
I will. I will. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.